So, in this space, we're going to be talking about spirituality and religion. Such big topics, such big words. And so, I'm going to do what I always do. I'm just going to pause. I want to pause and slow down the pacing. And let's just take those words. Hear the word religion, religious, spirit, spiritual, spirituality. Notice what happens in and with you as each word lands upon your person. And perhaps even let's go back and pause even longer between each word. Religion. Take a breath. What images come into your being? What memories of your own experience or historical education cross your mind? What does it feel like in your body, in your heart, in your thoughts, as you think about the word religion, religious? And take the word spirituality and do the same. Give yourself time and space to hold. Gonna spend time together on this subject. There's gonna be lots of inquiry. There'll be videos like this where I only postulate your experience and offer questions. And then there'll be some videos that I offer my story or some of my thoughts. All of it to create a potpourri, if you would, or a big stew of let's consider. Let's contemplate. Let's make inquiry and be curious. And so for now, I just want to leave you with these words. And let's add a couple more, such as contemplative, curiosity, freedom, spaciousness, parameters, construction, ideology, theology, scaffolding. What other words, what other phrases come to mind as you consider across the spectrum of religion and spirituality, belief, ethos, in those spaces? Where are they far apart and where do they pulse and come in together? Notice your thoughts, your ideas, and perhaps you journal, or perhaps you paint, or perhaps you collage. Maybe you take a photograph of what each space could mean to you. And where is the fluidity within construction of belief? And where, I don't want to use the word rigidity because that even has shades of judgment to it. But what are the spaces that you'll hold on to? That you say, no, this is what I believe, and there is no fluidity around this. And just notice those places. And we'll continue the conversation. But really, I want to hold space for inquiry, curiosity, for you. Whether you've lived 18 years or 92 years, you've had experiences that have shaped and formed you. You've had spaces to bring forth your ideas, or perhaps you haven't. The other two words before leaving you is agency and autonomy. And where does spirituality support that? Does religion support it? And where is your agency and your autonomy? Where is choice? Where does choice show up to you? Does someone choose to adhere to a very specific ritual because for them it brings life and strength and continuity of heritage? Because as they're walking through that ritual, they can imagine for hundreds or thousands of years that others have done it the same way. Who is anybody to say that that isn't beautiful and grounding and forming and growth? And then perhaps on the other side of the spectrum, someone who has been around ritual, who has been around ceremony, and wants to explore doing it a different way. Take a moment and hold all of that spaces and the spectrum of those spaces. And I know I own my prejudices and I own my preferences. For the most part, personally, I'm going to challenge this is the way to do it. Or I'm going to challenge, like, if for instance, there are those that believe if you mispronounce a word in Sanskrit, that's wrong. And yet, as one who has learning disabilities and struggles with learning language, I would say try, because even in the trying, just try. Do you know, for somebody that could be sacrilegious? And how do you walk in spaces holding those spaces? Maybe it's not the pronunciation of a word. Maybe it's the way a candle is lit or a prayer is said or whatever ritual it is. No, it's done this way. Why? Well, because it's always been done this way. Why? Did the person who first did the ritual that way experience something so profound that they said it has to be done this way, in this place, in this manner, at this time, or that won't occur? But are they going off of their own experience of that ritual? And what could be the equivalent for someone in present day? And that to me are the spaces to at least make the inquiry, to allow for the person who wants to do the ritual, the prayer, the ceremony in a very specific way because it's been done that way. And for the person who wants to say, well, why has it been done that way? When I was emerging from the construct of charismatic evangelicalism, and I just wanted to ask those questions, why? Why couldn't we do it this way? Or what is it to us if this is acceptable? And those times could be so threatening to people because some of those questions touch upon the sacred cow. And my question back is it sacred or is it a cow? Right? Where are those spaces that we adhere to? And where are those spaces that the universe, God, the spirit never, ever asked us to adhere to those things? And where can we make room for, and where can we own prejudice and preference? And where can we own preference without then postulating that as it's the way we do things? And so examine methodology, examine ideology and theology. Where are they the walls that divide us? And where can we put the gates and the doors in those walls to find those spaces where we can breathe together and pray together and be together. All right. So take your time. These are words, but each word holds so much. But what's most interesting to me in your personal formation, growth, and healing is giving you the spaces to make the inquiry, to allow the awarenesses and the places of acceptance, to breathe forth discernment and wisdom and choice and action. And so, being curious, explore and discover, express and expand, and we'll continue the conversation.